I must admit, my pasta skills are not the best, but there is one pasta that I've perfected. This is Pici pasta, and I learned how to make this last year in Italy. There's no eggs in this, it's just flour and water, and a really easy recipe to remember. So we're going to start with 1 kilogram of Tipo 00 flour. I like to use this for pasta because it's super fine. So 1 whole bag goes in. Now, you can do this by hand and mix it, but you're going to need the muscles, and to be honest, my food processor does a great job. I've got a kneading blade in here, so it's just going to make it so much easier. You can also do this in a mixer with a kneading hook. So now for our wholemeal flour. Why would I add wholemeal flour to this? Well, as Nonno Mauro, who showed me how to make this recipe, tells me, this gives it a wonderful texture, just a slight nuttiness. By adding 1/3 of a cup, and that's all you need, 1/3 of a cup of wholemeal flour, we're also going to get this texture where the sauce is going to grip onto the pasta. It really makes a difference. Now we need to season our pasta, so a good pinch of salt, and we'll add the water. Now for this particular flour, I'm going to be adding 600 mils of water, but I always have some extra water on standby. We want it to really come together and come away from the sides and form a ball. If it's too sticky, add some more flour. If it's too dry, just add a little more water. I'm going to show you the consistency though after this kneads for about 2.5 minutes. Okay, this is ready to go. Wow. Now the kneading time really depends on the consistency. See how this has come together and we've got a nice soft ball. So my food processor was able to do this in 2.5 minutes, but it may need up to 10 minutes. Ideally, you don't want it to be sticky on your hands anymore and look just like this. Now, just like any pasta, we need to rest it. So into some Glad wrap, into the fridge, and I'll rest this for about 1 hour, and then we can start rolling the pasta out. The pasta has rested in the fridge, so we can start rolling. I'll take it out of the cling film. You can really see the speckles of wholemeal flour in here, and I need to flour the bench. Give yourself lots of room when you're doing this. I'll use some of that wholemeal flour again, and I've got plain flour. Look, you don't have to mix them up, but I do. Also, this is some fine semolina. Because of its coarseness, it's going to allow us to form beautiful spaghetti-like noodles. And we'll just start with a small amount. You don't have to use all of the dough at once. We can just wrap that up and pop that back in the fridge. And I'll cut some small sections. I'll cut this into 4 or 6 pieces. We'll pop that onto our floured board, press it out, and we're going to roll it with a rolling pin. Not too thin. Turn it over so we've got flour on both sides. This is also such a cool pasta because you don't need a pasta machine. All you need is your hands, a rolling pin, and some time. And another point is get the kids involved in this. They will love this. It's hours of entertainment and you can't stuff it up. So I'm going to fold that over 2 or 3 times and then cut them into fettuccine if you like. Then we're just going to separate the pieces. So at the moment, that's far too chunky to eat, but we're just going to get one individual piece and we're going to start rolling. So I like to start from the center and roll out to make long, long noodles so it resembles spaghetti. A little more. And there you go, first Pici noodle done. I just love doing this. I love to do this when I've got a bit of time at home to potter around. It is such a rewarding feeling to make your own pasta. All right, I'm going to continue making these. I'll make a few bundles and then we'll cook them up. All right, I've rolled out the Pici and now you just want to grab them with your hand. So just small bundles per serving, and you just want to make sure there's enough of that semolina or flour on them so they're separated. And in regards to storing them, you just Place them on a tray in a little nest like this. Aren't they just gorgeous? Be quite gentle with them on the tray. Now, if you didn't want to cook them straight away, just pop them in the fridge, cover with some cling film, or you can cook them straight away like I'm going to do. I've got some rapidly boiling water and I'll place a generous amount of salt, and we'll put this little pile into the water. Now, this is fresh pasta, so it's not going to take long at all to cook. It will start to expand slightly, but I'd give that about 3 to 4 minutes. You'll see it come up to the surface and we're ready to pop it in the sauce. I actually really like it with a tomato sauce that has some chili in it, lots of basil, and that's how Mauro would do it. He just had tomatoes that he crushed and cooked in lots of olive oil with some chili. This has been warming up. Look at that, it really only takes a few minutes for them to come up to the surface, and very carefully with your tongs take them out of the water and then into the sauce. You want to allow some of that starchy water to go into the sauce because it's going to bring the whole thing together. You want a few spoonfuls of that starchy water, and we're going to give it a toss in that sauce. You can plate up. So let's grab our pasta, really gently pop it into the bowl. Look how long they are, fantastic. Don't overdo it with the sauce, just enough to coat all of that pasta. You could add some parmesan to this, pecorino, or I have some ricotta salata, which is a much drier, firmer ricotta, quite salty, so it's really nice with the tomato sauce. I'll get a fine grater and we'll just grate that over the top. And in true Italian form, some basil, fresh basil on the top. Wow. All right, I've got to have a taste of this one. That is unbelievable. Exactly how I remember it in Tuscany. It is sensational. Please make this at home.